right. I think this is working. I guess I'll find out. If you can hear me, can you just type in the chat here? I'm trying to see if I can get some of this stuff to work for me. Be kind of cool to see. So if somebody doesn't mind, can you type in the chat that you can hear me? If anybody's actually watching. And yes, Meredith and Holly and Lindsay, we should be in bed. But I don't know about you guys. I can't sleep. And, you know, I'd like to sleep, but I can't. I got all these ideas of things I want to do. And I'm trying to figure out how to make those happen. So, I'm trying to see how all of this stuff works on my podcast studio, get a little wider view of what's going on here. And then I don't have a 1 and 2, but I got all kinds of stuff here. That's kind of cool, actually. And then I'm hoping that we can make something. I'm going to try something new with my phone here, too, to see if that works. But, and hey, Megan, how are you doing? And we'll see. I'm trying to get ready for some things I want to try next week. But, So what's everybody been up to? I mean, how is, I don't know, for most people, I guess John, if you want to call, JP, if you want to call my cell phone, why don't you call me on my cell phone and let's see if I can get this live streaming to have phone calls in, because that's the next thing I want to kind of do is get phone calls to come in. So if somebody wants to give me a call on my cell phone, that would be awesome. We can see if that's going to work. I guess nobody wants to call me on my cell phone. But there is a delay on this, so I think maybe one day next week I'm just going to sit here all day. Hey, JP, what's up? Hold on. Let me see if I can.
See if this works.
Oh, yeah. I hear you. Do you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
Yeah, I hear you. So now we got to see if it's in the, I got to tell John I can't answer his call because JP's on here. There's a little bit of a delay in time by the time it shows up on the live stream. Thank you for calling, Jeremy. I'm going to have to decline you too. I got JP.
Oh, geez.
So,
well, I'm gonna hang up here. I was just calling to test this out for you.
Is it working?
Yeah. No, I hear you fine.
No, I know you hear me on your phone, but do you hear me through the live stream?
Well, I can't do both.
Well, how about this? Can everybody hear me and JP on the live stream? If you can hear JP talking, let's just talk for 5 minutes if you don't mind. Is that cool?
Yeah, I've got about 2 minutes before I got to go to bed. Yep.
Okay. Before you got to go to bed, I mean, who's telling you?
Oh, yeah. I mean, look, I've got big plans tomorrow. I mean, what are we going to do? Megan, what are we doing tomorrow? We've got donuts and coffee in the morning.
Oh, where at? That place we went to?
No, a different place.
Oh, man.
And then dinner.
Well, you can't sit there, I assume, right?
Well, heck no, man. Come on. Look, this is a crazy time. You walk up, you wait for your stuff to be made, and then they bring it out to you. You can't even go in anywhere here.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah. So last night for dinner, we walked up to the pizza place and we had to wait outside, and there were about 10, 12 people waiting outside. And they open the door and they call out a name of an order that's ready. And if it's yours, they just give it to you and walk away.
Really? So I did that today. So yesterday I went to my buddy's place, Charlie's Kebab. You know Charlie. And
Yeah. Oh,
I
yeah.
went and got food from him for the family. And then today I went to a little cafe across the street and got food for the office. So, I'm trying to support our local businesses.
Yeah. What were you up to today at the office?
Uh, there's some minor things that we needed to get fixed there. So, like somebody broke our front door, the little closer thing. So somebody came and put that on, and then, Liz had sprung a leak in my upstairs that, not a leak, she left the sink on and it leaked to downstairs. So I had the ceiling patched up and fixed. And then there's a few things like we needed a new exhaust fan in the bathroom. So, and then all my doors.
Yeah, that's been about 18 months in the waiting.
Yes. And then all my exterior doors were kind of having a hard time closing and stuff. So we went ahead and got all of that stuff taken care of. So that was, it was a good use of a day. And then, I kind of met with a few of my team members and talked about what our plan is for next week in terms of, just what are we going to do. And, I'm starting to talk to them about the reality of how long I think it's going to be. So that that they're getting prepared. They're obviously able to read social media, and they're in tune to the dental world as well. So they kind of know what to expect there.
Sounds like a good Friday then.
Yeah, it's not too bad.
Yeah,
not too bad.
There you go, making the most of it.
And what do you think about playing golf this weekend? Do you think that's reasonable to do?
Well, I played 2 times today, so I feel like it's pretty reasonable. Played this morning with my son, and went back this afternoon alone. And
so you played 36 holes today?
Yeah.
Get out of here!
What else am I gonna do?
Oh,
look, I gotta take care of my brain a little bit.
I know. I was gonna go, but you guys aren't having pollen and stuff up there?
Having what?
Pollen, that green stuff?
No, God, that was crazy.
Do you see
I've never seen that
when you're down here?
Yeah, last weekend it was nuts, man. I haven't seen that before. No, we don't have that yet. I mean, it's
Do you guys
still
get
winter.
that?
Let's be perfectly honest.
I mean, it was
winter
almost
here
80
still.
degrees today.
Yeah, no, it was 55 and cold and windy today.
Oh wow.
Yeah, no, but in like peak of summer, we'll get that. So like June, July, you'll get that if you park your car outside.
Oh my God. Yeah. So no, everything is green. Our cars are green. Our porch is green. Our little couches, the little cushions on the couches outside, or whatever they call them. Yeah, I call them couches. They're green. Valinda Dacey says hello from Calgary. I haven't seen him since Berlin. He's a big dude, man. And then his other little Indian buddy.
Berlin.
Yeah.
Dude, so Berlin was 6 weeks ago.
It feels like an eternity.
Like 6 years ago.
Oh my God, it was like an eternity. Our world has been turned upside down.
Life was good. Everything's great.
We were running around the city on the scooters when it was 30 degrees outside, freezing off.
No problem running into people on scooters and whatever. But hey, I had my brown jacket. I think that was the protective armor.
Inspector Gadget.
Yeah, absolutely.
No. Was it Inspector Clouseau? Maybe.
Yeah. Jacques Clouseau.
And then me, Sully booking me a ticket on the wrong time.
Clearly on the wrong day. The wrong day. You could have been stuck. Just think.
Oh my God. How bad would that have been?
Not allowed back. Oh God, it would have been great. It would have been nothing compared to the issues now.
I know. But it all, when you look back at that stuff, it's all kind of funny.
It was hilarious.
Jared By, I was very bummed that I'm not going to get up to Fargo this month. And trust me, I'd much rather be in Fargo than sitting around doing a bunch of nothing and dealing with all this craziness. But how you been holding up, JP? Okay.
I think it took a couple days to kind of wrap our heads around what was going on. And at this point now It's look, we made it through the first week of this really crazy stuff. We're going to get through the weekend. Hopefully, nothing earth shattering happens over the weekend, and we can hit Monday and get back to business. And even though we're not going to be seeing patients, but at least get back to business and start thinking about what we can do for the practice and the team moving forward. But it's kind of scary, and I'll be honest, it hit me harder than I thought it would.
Well, my angry day was Wednesday, so it sounds like your angry, upset day may have been yesterday or today.
Yesterday was
Yeah.
bad. Yesterday was really bad. For me, I came back from basically from vacation. I was in vacation mode, and I went right to Raleigh. I saw you on Friday night. No, I didn't even see you Friday. I saw you Saturday morning. We taught Saturday, Sunday. We had a couple of great days. I get back home. I, get in bed about 10, 11 o'clock at night, go to the office on Monday, just thinking, hey, nothing's different. Yeah, it's a little weird, but nothing's different. And, holy crap, man, by Tuesday, our world's upside down. So I'm basically in vacation mode and straight to crisis mode.
Yeah, it's crazy.
So, so it took a couple of days, and yesterday was definitely my angry day. And look, we're all going to process this differently, and it's okay.
And we're going to have a different timeline and everything. So yeah,
absolutely. And I think that's my advice now. I feel like I'm kind of coming through it a little bit. Take the time you need. If you need an extra day to be upset, be upset. It's okay. But we're going to figure this out. Everyone's going to figure it out.
Yeah, I get it. I think part of it is for me, some of the uncertainty is kind of clearing up. Well, I still, there's a certain amount of uncertainty, but I've come to grips that I think it's going to be end of April, early May before we begin sniffing burning enamel. I can't wait to smell prep teeth.
Exactly. I can't wait for that smell. Oh my gosh.
I might even smell some eugenol or formicreosol or dry socket paste at this point. I'm gonna go to the office and sniff some just to see.
Oh God, we have some problems, my friend. All right, it's 10:30 here on the East Coast. Right. I'm about to go to bed.
Well, all right, JP.
We'll have plenty of time to talk this week coming up.
All right, let's figure it out. Take care.
Sounds good.
Bye. All right, so that was kind of cool. Nudell is so I'm not seeing everybody's text messages here. I'm trying to think. I'm just trying this out, see what's going on. At some point, I'm going to do like a radio talk show. It sounds like you guys wouldn't believe this setup I've gotten here, and I've never had the time to really sit down and goof around with it. And today, I decided today was the day, and that's what it is. I got to tell you, I'm a little worried for my wife. They're working still, and I don't want to say they don't have a choice. Everybody has a choice, but as a psychiatrist, as a medical doctor, as a healthcare professional, as a mental health care professional, they're working, and they were putting in some 10, 12-hour days earlier in the week, and dealing with some hospitalizations and dealing with just, trying to transition. Hey, Davil, I'm not going to go to sleep. In fact, why don't you give me a buzz, or Lindsay, you can give me a buzz. We can chit-chat. Davil, I think people would love to hear your Indian accent. Jeremy, if you want to call me back. Anybody who wants to call and come on the show. I don't even know if it's a show, but just give me a buzz. But they're working, and so transitioning to a lot of telemedicine for them, because very fortunately she's in a profession where telemedicine is a realistic option. So Nudell, I don't know much about teledentistry actually, and I wonder, outside of consults, what other things can we do? Maybe some emergency triage, but Davel, my man, what's up?
What's up, Tron?
You know you're on the live stream, just so you know.
Am I?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay.
So, I hear you can't
Guess-
sleep?
no, dude, I don't know what it is. I don't know why I can't sleep. But and part of it, I've been excited to try some of this stuff out in my studio, and I wake up every day and I say I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. By the end of by this having essentially a week off, I should have had all my stuff taken care of, and I've done jack crap in terms of all the things
Yeah,
I
and
wanted to
guess
get
what?
done.
The first couple of days I felt like, hey, this is kind of nice because it seems like I may be able to catch up on a few things that I haven't been able to catch up for the last several months, being crazy practice and speaking and teaching, and I'm like, this sounds good, and it's now starting to get to me.
It,
Yeah,
it
crazy
is.
times.
It is. So what have you done? Well, what are you guys doing in your office?
Oh, gosh, no. So
Well, you guys are on lockdown in California, right? Stay in place or whatever the hell they're calling it.
yeah, shelter in place. That's what the term is being used right now. As far as the office is concerned, I was teaching a course in Florida last weekend, and once I got back, I guess Monday was when it started to kind of all come down. We worked half a day on Monday, and then it was pretty much emergencies after that. I worked yesterday for half a day. We're shut down today. We're shut down, I guess, tomorrow, Monday.
Tomorrow is Saturday,
Ronnie,
dude.
yeah, but we work some Saturdays. But
Okay.
Monday, one of my associates is covering for half a day for emergencies. Tuesday, I'm covering for emergencies. We're shut down on Wednesday, so we pretty much are kind of taking half a day a week. All the GPs are just getting together and
So
just kind of picking a day and just helping
covering.
out patients who
So
are in emergency needs, I guess.
so with shelter in place, you can go to the office.
Yeah, if you are, I guess, a healthcare provider and, you know, I
Are
guess you're
dentists
not
healthcare
stopped to get,
providers? I mean, I know
of
it's
course we are.
I know it's essential to get in North Carolina. It's essential to get cleanings because if you don't provide cleanings for your
So
patients,
you're doing a lot of
they
stogies
might
these
get
days?
heart disease and stuff. I'm somewhat
No,
being sarcastic about
no,
a
I
video
understand. I
that's
guess
you know
sarcasm helps
yeah
in these times.
what the hell else are we gonna do about it? So okay, so you guys are in shelter in place. Do you guys see military and National Guard and stuff around?
No, I guess the statement from the governor was you guys can still do, I mean, for the most part, just use common sense. Don't gather around, large groups of people. Don't go to restaurants and bars, but you can still go out, take a walk, I guess walk the dog, just go out and exercise or something. But yeah, just not, don't gather around in large spaces. You can still go to the grocery store, get stuff, get medicine, stuff like that.
So how is this any type of lockdown that's helping stop the spread? I mean, are we just minimizing?
I guess that's the whole concept, right? Just
Yeah, I guess. I
so what's
guess.
going on in Silvery?
Well, we shut down on Monday. Um, I truly thought it was going to be a 2 week on Monday when I made that decision. I really thought it was going to be a 2 week shutdown, um, maybe 3 weeks, but I think I'm going to be very wrong on that.
Yeah,
and
I guess nobody knows at this point, right?
no, I think it's pretty clear that we're not getting back to work before May 1st. I think it's starting to become very clear that that is a real reality here. Um,
So do you think the fact that China hasn't been reporting any new cases for the last couple of days is any indication of how long this is going to last in the U.S.?
well, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they had the benefit of being a communist country and legitimately locking stuff down, and
True.
China did. They were able to lock their little territories down and stuff. And, I think part of this is I wish there was a news channel that I could actually watch and get like legit facts on. When I watch MSNBC, Trump is the worst thing since ever. You watch Fox News and, he's doing everything perfect. And, I'd like to get some straight facts sometimes. And, and that's part of
So do you
this.
think there's been some misreporting directly from China, and
Well,
it's
who
probably
knows?
worse than what is being reported?
Who knows, man? I mean, I, I don't know. I mean, if I knew, I'd be a bazillionaire, and none of this would bother me. But
True.
I'd be on my own island where nobody gets coronavirus. But I don't know. I just don't know. I know that I don't trust. I don't want to say I don't trust. I just have a hard time believing so much of the news and stuff right now. Um, so Jason Swantek asked me if I've donated my PPE. I haven't donated my PPE. And I'm very afraid of partying with my PP. My
Have you been hoarding all the PPE?
oh, I would love to tell a story today.
I just read something on Facebook that somebody in North Carolina has kind of hoarded 18,000 tons of toilet paper or something, and I immediately thought of you.
Dude, we buy like 200 rolls of toilet paper a month for our office. I've been talking about going on toilet paper square rations for months upon years, and we don't need much toilet paper at the house. We have those little washlet bidets. I know
Yeah,
that.
you're Indian, so you could survive without toilet paper.
Well, I'm not that. I'm not your kind of Indian when it comes to that.
Yeah, right. You're coconut, right?
Yeah, so I am. Yeah, very much. I'm like actually, I'm not coconut. I'm more Oreo. I'm a little bit on the.
Oh, okay.
I'm a little bit on the darker end, but yeah, I just I don't know,
So
man.
what have you been doing so busy
Well, let's see.
other than getting onto the podcast stuff?
Well, let's see. Monday I went to the office. I didn't see any patients. We were just, Monday was a little bit of a scramble, trying to get things together, start talking to the team. Tuesday, I saw four true emergency patients. Um, Wednesday, I went in and had some tough conversations with the team members. I took yesterday off. I worked in the studio, did some podcast recording, did stuff like that. It was kind of a nice Thursday was a really nice day for me. And then today, uh, I was going to go play golf, but I didn't feel like it. And then ended up going to the office to hang out at Mona's office and talk to my team, got some lunch, watched the people fix
So
the doors.
is your team still working, getting stuff done in the office, or is it like a complete lockdown? I mean, maybe you guys are just seeing patients for emergency and stuff like that. Is the team still doing stuff in the office?
Yeah, yeah. So we're available for emergencies. We didn't have any yesterday or today, but
No, but does that mean your entire team is in the office, or is
no,
it like
no,
one
no. So
one person in the front?
yeah, no. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, the entire team was there. Yesterday and today, we split the team in half, and then next week we're moving to just two, a couple of people in the office, one front, and then one of my assistants because we still have stuff to get sorted through. The hygienists have gotten their rooms cleaned up and sorted and organized. There's some stuff to get taken care of. And then, the front office, I think the front office will be busy for the next week at least, getting insurance checks in and, just working through some of that stuff. We're not, we're doing AR calls for insurance companies. I'm not doing
Yeah,
AR calls to patients. I just don't think personally, I don't think it's the right time to do that. Um,
no, too.
yeah, maybe it is. Maybe I'm stupid. Who knows? But I just don't feel comfortable doing that. And then, so that kind of stuff. And then we've been working on some iPad things. We're trying to get so much of our practice onto the iPad. So we've worked on that a little bit. And so that's, for the most
Yeah,
part, what we've done.
I thought. I mean, I was thinking of just getting stuff on the presentation stuff and update my presentations with probably screenshots of the newer softwares which I haven't been able to do for a while. So get all of that stuff done, get everything converted to 5.1. I'm still on 4.6 on my presentation, but again, I just can't get myself down to just sitting down and getting everything done.
I'm just not
Too much.
motivated yet.
Yeah, I guess it's probably it's gonna hit hard next week when I might just go to the office, lock myself down, and just do that stuff.
We thought about going to the beach, but then I'm afraid to get stuck there.
Oh, to the beach house?
Yeah, yeah, because I don't want to get stuck there. Like then they start shutting the place down, and I can't do
Yeah, but you
it,
can still move around. It's not like you're gonna get locked down in a place, right?
dude. I'm paranoid. I like home. I don't know what it is. I don't
Yeah.
know. So Holly Bryant asked me what dentist will make it through this, and the answer is every dentist. Um, we're first and foremost we're Americans, and we find a way, and then we're human beings. We've survived all kinds of stuff. I mean, this is in the
What
scheme
are
of
what
things,
are
this is
some of the
nothing.
challenges you think we're gonna all face, like immediate once we get back to work?
I think, well, I think before we get back to work, I think the first challenge that every dentist needs to do is they need to reduce their monthly overheads for the next couple of months. We got to make a sustainable business, and I know we want to take care of our team members, and so I'm encouraging every dentist to look into unemployment as an option for your team members. Hopefully, the government will step in and supplement. And I don't know about this new bill requiring paid time off and how that works, but my team members are first and foremost on my mind, so I want to make sure that they're taken care of. I've contacted my banks and asked for 60-day deferment on the loans, and they were pretty much said yes to that. Monday or Tuesday, I'll get in touch with. I got a couple of small equipment loans that I want to get deferment on. Basically, I'm looking at every payment that I have. I'm trying to get deferment on it, and I'm trying to get my office overhead essentially close to zero for the next 2 months. I hope it doesn't go 2 months, but that's what I'm looking to do. And even if it doesn't go 2 months, I want to have a little bit of running room when things get back to quote
Yeah, but
unquote
you've
normal.
got some fixed stuff like rent. I mean, I guess the payroll is something that you can cut off if employees are not in the office.
Sure.
But what about rent? What about
Yeah, so rent is
utilities?
so I have rent to myself because we are the owner of the
Yeah,
building,
you own the building.
but I have a mortgage, right? So
You have a mortgage. Yeah, so that's the same thing
yeah,
essentially.
well, it's not quite the same because the mortgage is backed by a bank, and the banks are giving 60 to 90-day deferrals pretty. I don't want to say easily, but they've got mandates to do that, and they have rules, and so that part's easy. The rent, the people that are renting, that's tough because typically you're working with a landlord, and the landlord may or may not have a deferment on their loan, or any number of things are going there. So rent is a little bit of an expense that may or may not be able to be deferred for a little bit. And then I still have some equipment that I'm paying for. I do have some. I'm not buying any supply, so there should be no supply bills moving forward for the next little bit. But we've got some other recurring. I've got some services within the dental industry that we're paying for. So hopefully, some of that will be. I don't know how that's going to work, but look, I'm well prepared to weather the storm. That's certainly not the issue at all for me. I've been very smart and have been saving money and stuff. But even
How have you dealt with some of your courses
oh
probably being
man,
canceled or
yeah,
postponed?
yeah. We've canceled. That. We're taking that couple of weeks at a time. Basically, we've canceled through the first weekend of April, April 3rd and 4th. Everything through then is canceled. And then we're just waiting to see. I personally don't encourage dentists to take their team members anywhere right now. So, I, as a CE provider, that certainly hurts me, but I also believe in doing the right thing. So I have a funny feeling that we probably won't do any CE programs till early May, and even that it's going to be much lighter, and so we'll take a hit there. But again, I'm very fortunate. I'm prepared for some. Not mentally prepared. I'm financially prepared for a lot of that. So
Yeah, I had several things planned. I had a speaking engagement today, in fact, in Sacramento, which was canceled. It was a Patterson symposium. I had a CERC workshop next week in Nashville, which we had to cancel. I had a speaking engagement in New Zealand in April, which uh, was canceled. I had another workshop in completely sold out workshop again in Connecticut in April, which we canceled. So I guess it's just not scheduling anything till this whole thing passes off, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much that's on hold. You know, I want I want to address something while I've got you on here. Yeah. So Ronnie Tay asked me if I'm talking to Davil. I mean, who else sounds like this? Uh,
Ask
uh,
Ronnie to get off Facebook and just
hey Ronnie,
just
Davil
give
wants you to get
Facebook, I
off
guess.
Facebook and go work at the office. see, see, get some signs out and ask people for if they want emergent cleanings. Essential cleanings. Um, I keep hearing a lot of doom and gloom from dentists and who's going to hang in there. And look, at the end of the day, there are going to be some practices that aren't going to hang in there, and that's unfortunate. But
So when you say, I'd have to stop you there. When you say they're not going to hang in there, you say they're just going to shut shop?
no, I just don't think they're going to recover from it. I think there's a
Okay.
small percentage that's not going to recover from it. But I'm preaching calm at this point in time. We've got to believe. Number one, you got to believe that we'll be back. Okay, I mean, bottom line, where's fuck, if we don't get back, but you got to believe that we're going to get back, and I firmly believe that. I'm also a realist and do understand that when we get back, it will not be the same. Um, Certainly for a period of time, I do think we'll get back to being better than ever, and that may take a few months, or that may take a year or so. But we'll be back, and this should be a wake up call for us to really look at how we should be adjusting our business, and we can talk about that.
I guess this reminds me of one of the first podcasts that you did about savings, and
Yeah.
I think I got to go back and listen to that.
Well,
And
I played it 3 times. It's episode number 3, and then I played it again maybe late 2018, and then honestly, just I played it like 6 weeks ago, 4 or 5 weeks ago, just because. And
I guess this may be just a reminder to the listeners, whoever is listening live right now, is I mean, you may not want to plug yourself in, but I'd say that was a pretty good podcast. The other good one that you had was the one that you did with me, but other than that, yeah, that was a pretty cool one.
next time you come visit me, we'll do another one.
And
You don't come
sure,
visit me anymore. But
no,
I
I
want to
do.
get back to we got to believe that we're going to get back. Okay, number one, we got to stay calm. The Earth is falling nonsense. The I still read that people believe it's some kind of conspiracy theory, and we can't control that nonsense. So we got to have some calm. We got to believe that we're going to be back, and then I think what we got to do is we got to get to a point where we understand that our business overhead is moving to almost nothing. Okay, because we are getting deferment on nearly every loan that we have. We know we're furloughing our employees. They're going to be, everybody's going to feel the pinch on a personal level. Everybody will feel the pinch. I'm feeling the pinch. My team members are going to feel the pinch. We'll get some assistance, or at least they'll get some assistance from the government. We hope, and I'm there to support them until some of that comes through to a certain degree. And we've got to get our overhead down to zero, and our business overhead. So if we can get that through April and May, I don't think there's a need to be so doom and gloom. And
Do you think dental offices are, let's say, they're able to get their overhead down to zero for the next couple of months? Do you think they have enough reserves to still survive those 2 months? Do you think some
on a
people,
personal
I'm sure a
level,
lot of them do. Yeah.
so on the personal level, I
No,
think
I'm pretty sure dentists themselves are going to be fine.
you'll be
But as far
surprised
as
on
the
that.
practice is concerned, I mean, I'd be able to survive without an income
Yeah, Davil,
for a
but
long
people
time.
like you and I are different. It's not because we make more, but we save more, right? Um,
Yeah, but what about the team members? What I mean, how do they take care of themselves?
well,
What happens? What other I guess expenses are we incurring at this point, which is
again,
just
you're
gonna
referring to the
raise the
business, right?
practice?
Well, I'm trying to
Yeah,
go through my office right now, and really, and maybe look, I'm a mature practice, okay? So I've been in business 20 years now, so I have a mortgage on the building, which is deferred for 60 days. I've got some new equipment that I have a loan for, and I haven't been able to get in touch with that company yet to figure out if they're going to do a deferment, but I can't imagine that they're not, because they really, to a certain degree, don't have much of a choice in this matter. I think they're going to have to. And then, we've gotten rid of our team expenses. And then there are no supply expenses because you're not doing any dentistry. You don't need any supplies. There's no lab bill, right? There's no office supplies. So really, to a certain degree, what is left on the business side of this? There's the recurring softwares that we do use within our practices. There's service and support. And hopefully some of the dental companies will figure out a solution to maybe to discount that or defer. I don't want to speak for them or put a lot of pressure on them because they're businesses as well. But, our survival is their survival. So I truly do believe we can get our practice overhead close to, and when I say zero, I don't literally mean zero, but we can get it to something that's very manageable. And we can look at line of credits or small business loans or whatever the government's offering. I think we can get our business overhead close to very, very manageable scenarios. I'd love for somebody to chime in with some of the overhead that I'm not realizing that exists. So I'd love to.
I guess you pretty much hit everything there. I guess it's payroll is since nobody's working, that should be taken care of. And you hit the rent part. You hit I guess the
Lab
mortgage if you have
supplies,
one. Yeah.
equipment loans. The only thing that so I think we can get our overhead close, right? And then once we get to that realization, then we can weather the storm as a business. Where the real trouble I think is going to come in is how do we weather the storm as an individual, as a family, right? And
Yeah.
so that's the big question. I can't speak to what kind of expenses people have. So Brett mentioned marketing, advertising. I would encourage you to, for the next 2 months, to cut it. Absolutely. For those things that you can cut, if you're doing a lot of digital marketing, turn it off. I mean,
Whom are you marketing to right now?
what are you marking them to do? Call your office that's not answering anything.
Yeah.
Insurance premiums. That's a good point, Jeremy. So again, I've got to have faith that that some of these things we can get down, right? Or that the companies are going to get mandated, or they're going to have. Look, at the end of the day, the government will bail out the big companies. There'll be some. I've just got to believe that so much of that will get taken care of. And part of the challenge is can you float it for that month or two until some relief does come? And relief is not going to come in a week or two. The government doesn't work that fast. So, so that's part of it. But I think on the home side of things, again, the same thing comes in. I've called my home mortgage company, and I'm asking for again a 60-day deferral. And again, my wife is still working. We're lucky we're still bringing in income. But I'm doing all of that because I think it's smart business. Why should I potentially risk any cash flow issues when I don't have to? So, and plus I want to see how it works for, to be able to give people some, some guidance on that. And then, if you're renting, again, the rentals are going to be a little bit of a more difficult thing. And then, a lot of people have, car payments. Again, I'm assuming those banks will give us some leniency or deferments, and, utilities in other countries, they're cutting off payments to that. And certainly maybe that's going to come or not come, and then food, at the end of the day, I mean, you got to learn how to eat ramen or stuff like that. I mean, mac and
I guess
cheese.
the one thing that I'm noticing is people are really rallying around this whole thing, and it probably might just bring people together in a way. I mean, although we're staying away from each other, but just understand each other better. I mean, patients have been very understanding of everything, and we'll see what comes out of it.
Well, I just want people to have hope, some calm and hope, and because I will get through it. Some will not. Ford Credit is given 60-day defer. Ronnie was able to get a 60-day deferment on his car payment. Ted Chang talked about IT, insurance, HR firm, payroll company, call centers, VoIP. So Ted, what I would say to Ted and other people that have all of those is these are some of the lessons that we're going to learn, is how much of that stuff is truly necessary. And again, I don't know how big Ted's office is and stuff like that, but really, that's part of the learning process. You
Okay,
know,
tonight I'm gonna have to take off.
okay,
The kids are
all
calling
right,
me for a movie night, so
all right. Enjoy
carry
it.
on.
Take
Yep,
care.
I'll
Thanks,
probably try and
Davel.
sneak
Love you,
out
brother.
and be on
Okay.
the live thing. Okay, good talking to you.
Take care. Bye.
Okay, bye.
Um, so yeah, we just got to have that belief, and is it going to be hard? Absolutely. Look, I'm not saying it's not going to be hard. Um, listen, my father's, as many of you know, or I've talked about, we're in the motel. I don't like to say hotel business because that to me means lots of different things. But, we've got a few motel properties and that is getting crushed right now. There's down 80, 90% potential closings. Certainly that's going to hurt, but we've got to believe that we're going to get through this. And um, I want us to all take note. I'm not. It's not an "I told you so" moment or anything like that. But because I went through this in 2008, I was not prepared. I had zero money. I had to go sell a car to make mortgage payments in 2009. I mean, it just wasn't prepared. So I learned then what many of the younger dentists will learn from this is we've got to have a rainy day fund. We've got to live within quote unquote our means, and we're going to get through it. We got through 2008. We're going to get through this, and God willing, we'll live long enough that there'll be something else like this. And as much as we don't want it, but the reality is we're likely to have it. So that's part of the game. So I don't know what else to say about that. But well, it's 10:55. Let's see anything else. Oh, Jeremy's calling. What's up, Jeremy?
Not much.
You're live,
Uh,
correct?
yeah, I know I'm
Okay.
live.
All right.
I've been-
Congratulations, first and foremost.
Thank you.
Baby number
Yep.
4 or 3?
Number 4.
Number
You
4.
will be 9 months older than, or 11 months older than all these new perennials out the way.
What do they call perennials?
Perennials.
Like
Corona.
maybe we should call them runellials because it's Rona now. Apparently, that's the Insta famous version of it.
Gotcha.
How you doing, my man?
I'm doing okay. Looking at everything big picture, there's the world, the sky's not falling. Yeah,
It felt like it was falling, didn't it?
what's that?
It felt like it's falling.
Oh, it felt like it was falling at the beginning of the week for sure. And yeah, there was a little crisis going on. It's your guys were talking about pollen. The pollen here was at the beginning of the week, and it was hitting me. So personally, I felt like, do I have COVID? Am I infected?
Well,
'Cause
I got to admit, I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac. I mean, like I'm so unhealthy in so many ways, but I'm a little bit of a hypochondriac, and year by year, the allergies have gotten to me a little bit more, and I was feeling a little bit I've been wheezing a little bit and feeling a little bit of tightness in my chest, and that's a combination of heartburn because I'm probably eating not as healthy as I should be eating, right? Because I'm not working as much. I'm a little under stress or, allowing myself to get stressed, very understandably so. And then we've got allergy season going on. And then I'm every stupid, like every time I cough, I think, oh my God, I'm getting the corona. So went to see, I went to see my primary care today, and she reassured me that it's unlikely that I have corona. And then they gave me a little bit of a nebulizer treatment, and I feel a lot better. So, yeah.
yeah, no, I realized it was linked to like when I was walks outside and stuff like that. But I was going to be safe and okay.
Yeah, yeah. We're going to find a way through it. So what's your biggest fear right now? What can we help you with, dear Jeremy? What's on your mind?
Yeah, it's just kind of like what I can do right now to be productive and maybe do something revenue wise. Honestly, we've never really done medical billing that well,
Hmm.
just because labor, it was like just a time crunch thing, to be honest. And maybe that's an excuse, but now we have lots of time in our hand, and we did do a good job of actually collecting data. So I just went through and pulled all the things that we could possibly medically bill that we
Yeah.
overlooked
You know,
over the
and
last.
one of the options that you have is you can now is a good time to back bill medical billing. You know,
Yeah,
so
that's what I mean.
like with
6 months
dental,
to a
yeah,
year.
you know, whatever, 3 months to 6 months is where I would start. And
Yeah,
if you have medical insurance information on your patients, it's a great time to send those claims in, and and figure that out. So I'd encourage people to do that. I know I'm going to get I haven't announced it or talked about it, but next week. We're going to be doing some training and webinars online just to help people out and, quite frankly, to pass our own time. So I'll have Hutan on, and we'll do we'll do some training on medical billing. So we'll walk people through that, and certainly that's not going to fix the short-term crash crunch in terms of getting money in the next week or so. But it potentially can have money a month or 2 months from now, and so that options exist, and that's very smart of you to do that.
she she's been going to medical offices and dropping off like reports, and she was really frustrated because she went to a doctor's office, gave the HST, and the patient had like a physical coming up, and specifically told them, hey, I want to talk about this, and the doctor's office threw the test away. So the guy was frustrated at us, frustrated at his doctor's office, even though he did above and beyond to help
Threw away
the
the
person.
physical testing unit or the report?
No, threw away the HST, the report.
Oh, I was like,
So
wow.
they just didn't have it. So he came in and they're just like, what do you mean talk about your sleep? He's like, didn't you guys get my report from, so and so? And they're just clueless. And Data's like, I physically went there and gave it to the people.
Yeah, Jeremy,
So,
I'm so proud of you. You've made such amazing strides in the last couple of years.
yeah,
You
and
guys have done so good with the sleep and the healthy start and so much
yeah.
stuff. It's amazing.
But her thing is, I need a different name than dentistry behind us. I need like a separate brand.
Yeah, and
We're thinking of rebranding ourselves and spending some time doing some
yeah,
Facebook marketing about that.
so now's a great time to sit down and write that out. Write out, is it Stop Snoring South Carolina, or Stop Snoring Somerville, or Stop Snoring Greenville?
We're gonna steal Aaron's Sleep Better Simpsonville, but my wife thinks Sleep Well Simpsonville might be better than Sleep
Yeah,
Better.
and try it out, and go ahead and buy the domain name and get some logos and stuff made, and start creating that brand. Now's the time, man. I mean,
Yeah, and
we got a
who
month.
knows? Maybe you can do a little like FaceTime patients that want to do a consult, even if they're not paying for like sleep risk. And I mean, it's probably still COVID safe to hand them a sleep test, right?
Yeah, I think. Well, look, I can
Take
tell
the
you.
sleep test back.
I can tell you that absolutely, because my wife
There's no
has a health
PPE.
as my
There's
wife as a healthcare professional. They're seeing patients, and they're I don't want to say it's business as usual, but certainly a lot of that stuff can be done remotely.
Yeah, I'm not using PPE to hand them the test, and we can wipe the thing down before we go to the next one, and then hopefully when we open, we have a list of 10, 15 people to call up and say, come in and get scanned.
And I was talking to Liz at the office today, and she'd mentioned that, some of our sleep referrals from the physicians are still sending over stuff because either they're still seeing patients, which they probably are, and or B, they're less busy and they're having time to get through some of the things, that's just like in our offices that have been building up over time, and they've been sending things in. So, I'm making sure that she's contacting the patient. I don't want them to find somebody else and all of that. So, again, to me, it's not about I told you so, but I want people to know that one of the best ways to get through this is some level of clinical diversity. Sleep is one of those things that ultimately can be done as a teledentistry / medicine thing.
My buddies, I'm like, I'm pivoting from a dental office to a sleep medicine office for the next.
And then there'll be a time where that doesn't work as well as it used to, and we'll have to go back. But it comes back to what I've always talked about for the last 4 or 5 years, is that we want to have a good, strong general dentistry base, because it allows us to be selective in what we do, but it also allows us to come back to a strong base when things do get tight. And I do believe we're gonna we're going to go through some tight periods of time right now. There's no question about it. I think anybody that tells you that it's just going to come back the way it was, that's, that may not be, that's hopeful thinking. I don't think it's going to get there.
Yeah. The good, bad, I mean, it's going to be a completely different landscape when we come back. But
Yeah.
we got an associate last year, and we spent a lot of money to do that, and it wasn't profitable because we knew it was going to be a tough year. And he's actually moving back home because his wife is a dentist and she's buying a practice. They have a family connection. They're from Wisconsin.
Mm-hmm.
So he told me before all this, like he put in his notice and stuff. So he's
So there's a little bit of a golden lining in that.
Yeah, there is definitely at this point. So,
but you're keeping your head up, right?
Yeah, oh yeah. I'm keeping my head up.
How's
we
Sarah?
had a ton of malts delivered, so I spent the day physically moving around malts.
How's Sarah doing?
The stress out of that. She doesn't handle it as well as me. She's much more controlling, wants to be able to know what things are and be able to think that she has an impact on everything and be productive. So she's a bit stressed. I've been trying to help her out with that.
The best thing you can do is help her, reassure her that everything's going to be okay. Give her hope.
And I have a spreadsheet of all of our costs and it's budgeted out. So I went through and I was like, delete on the loan deferments, the collections, delete on, as you said, pretty much all the services. And I made a 2-week plan, then I made a 2-month plan.
So
maybe
awesome.
I need to make a 3-month plan. And I'm looking, I'm like, it's negative, but it's not like it can't be done negative.
Well, look, I think there's so much smartness in what you just said. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't want anybody to get caught without a plan, and so, about a month ago, I started planning for, 1-2 week, a few days. And as we got closer and closer to it, I started planning for the 2-week shutdown or 3-week shutdown. And then, late last week, I started thinking, man, this might last a little bit longer based on, what we're seeing in China, what we saw in China, and certainly what we're seeing in Italy. And I hope we don't get to that level. So, I've been putting these plans together, and that's why I've been irritable at the office. I've been irritable for a lot of reasons, but that's one of the reasons I've been more irritable is because, I'm thinking through some of these things, and, only time will tell.
Yeah, my wife right away was like, grab that line of credit just because she was thinking the bank would never give it to us. I'm like, the bank does not want us to fail.
No, they don't.
They don't want us to sell our used equipment for whatever.
For 10 cents on the dollar, yeah.
They want us to survive, pay our interest, pay our principal for years to come. So they will help us survive this.
Well, we're here for you, Jeremy. Keep your head up. You've made unbelievable progress in the last 2 or 3 years, and that progress will continue when we move back to normal. And you're positioned to fight through whatever recession that we do have quicker. Okay, so do keep that in mind. You're friendly with insurance companies. You do have payment plans to make it more affordable for patients. You do have a diverse practice that provides lots of services. You have a team that are well-trained and very loyal to you. You got a rock of a person with you and Sarah. You've got a phenomenally healthy family. And you have a newborn that this is going to give you some time and buy you some brownie points with Sarah so that she says she doesn't want to see you for so much anymore.
Yeah, the blessing is the disease is horrible and everything, but it seems to be sparing the young ones at this point, as far as we know. So,
well,
it could be worse.
It could be. Listen, we always find a way, and that's the message I want people to do: stay calm, lead, be prepared, and be smart. Let's be smart. Let's save the business because we're in for a little bit of a long haul here. I'm convinced that we're 6 to 12 weeks, somewhere in that ballpark of probably 6 weeks of true not doing anything, and then 12 weeks of limited, and then a lingering effect for the rest of the year. So I do want people to be smart and get prepared.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That gets tough with the team,
Yeah. Oh, getting them prepared, and worrying about them and stuff,
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always on my mind. I check with my team daily, and we got a good Slack channel, and so yeah, I'm there for them. As much as I can be, I'm absolutely there for
Oh yeah, I appreciate you doing what you do,
them.
man.
My pleasure, man. Just it selfishly it keeps my mind off of things.
I hear, and it's unselfish in a lot of ways too, man.
Yeah. Tell your lovely wife hello, and go take care of your kids, Jeremy.
I hear.
Keep your head up. I'm always here. Okay.
I will. I will. I'm a stupid optimist.
Perfect. We love stupid optimists.
Yep. Yep.
Love you, brother. Take care.
You too. Bye.
Bye. All right. That was a lot of fun. That was more fun than I anticipated. I can't wait to continue to do this. I got to get a toll-free number, get some graphics here so people can call in. That would be pretty phenomenal. Let me know in the chat box or in the comment section what you thought about all of this, and what you think about the format, being able to have people call in and just having conversation, seeing the chat running here. Yeah, I'm kind of having fun. Jonathan, what's up? Ayala, you're doing good. I'm slowly but surely learning how to do all of this stuff. Well, I haven't left yet, Jonathan. It's not the next one. I know you don't ever sleep, but I'd love to hear how you're doing and stuff. But I'll be back this weekend. I'll be back next week. I'll be back the week after that. I'm not going anywhere. Be sure to listen to a lot of podcasts, certainly mine first. My buddy Sully's the TBone Speaks podcast first, tbonespeaks.com. Catch out the Millennial Dentist podcast, Dental Hacks Nation, Working Interference, Dentist Implants and Worms. There's so many good podcasts out there that you got to tech into, and there's all kinds of webinars and stuff going on. I'll have some next week. I'll try to get some of that put together this weekend and announce that. And do be careful for some of the shysters and the snake oil salesmen and stuff like that. This is high time for people to do stupid things to catch on to our fears and our uncertainty. But be strong. And if you need somebody to talk to, please message me, direct message me, email me, send, asktbone.com, submit a question, call me, whatever you want. I'm here to do as much helping as I can. So hope everybody has a great night.